everyone, Diana here from Clay to Canopy. Happy New Year! As my channel begins to round its 1 year mark, I realized that I have not done an introduction video. So I'm gonna just talk a little bit about myself, my background, where this channel has been, and where I see this channel going. If you're very familiar with me, you can go ahead and skip this video. If you want to know a little bit more about this channel, then stick around. First off, I grew up on the East Coast, and I grew up in a house that was constantly under renovation. I have 10 brothers and 2 sisters. My mom redoing the house, she stripped the floors, stripped the woodworking, refinished the hardwood floors, ripped out paneling, wallpaper. I learned to strip wallpaper and rip out paneling at the age of 12. Replace drywall, crazy stuff like that. It was always happening, and I'm really fortunate for that because it turned me on to my love of fixing things and making things. My mom also is a wonderful gardener, and my dad absolutely loved vegetable gardening and fruit trees. With that in mind, I was that kid that always watched things like This Old House and New Yankee Workshop. Those were my Saturday morning cartoons. As I got older, late teens, I came across Trading Spaces and I was in love with the show. The thing that I always cringed at was the designers would come up with these crazy designs and they'd have these little sketches and they'd walk the sketches out to the carpenter, and the carpenter would look at the design and go, yeah, that's not gonna happen. There's just no way that's possible. I had spent a few years after high school working retail jobs and really was trying to figure out what I wanted. I decided I wanted to go to school for furniture making, and I went to Community College of Rhode Island, which happened to have a bunch of instructors there who were moonlighting from RISD. So my first 2 years of education, though I was at a community college, I had a lot of teachers who pushed me at the level of Rhode Island School of Design. From there, I transferred to my 4-year college at Rochester Institute of Technology, School of American Craft, where I studied woodworking and furniture design. I received a BFA, moved out here to California to go to graduate school. I received my master's in fine arts in sculpture with a concentration of woodworking and ceramics. Now, ceramics was something I had done when I was really young. I first learned how to fire kilns in high school. When I did go to the community college, I was studying also ceramics. While I was in my undergrad, it was an incredible program and had a lot of different materials that you could study. Whatever electives were available for me, I took glass classes, I took metal foundry work, so I learned how to cast my own metal pieces. I took welding, and I also still dabbled in the ceramics. As I was working on my master's degree, I started a business working with galleries, artists, and designers, making custom furniture, sculpture fabrication, gallery furniture, pedestals, display cases, things like that. So following grad school, I did continue to run that business for several years while I was teaching part-time. But it was just kind of go, go, go all the time, and I was burning out. When the opportunity arose for me to be able to teach more classes, I transitioned into doing that. I now teach 5 classes between university and high school. That's pretty much the day job. My original intent for this channel was to take my love of interior design and wanting to put things together and create entire environments from the ground up. You have a living room. There's the coffee table. So one video I build the coffee table, and the next video I make the accessory tray that sits on top of the coffee table. And in another video, ceramic, apples that sit in the tray that sit on the coffee table. And by the time I was done with a series of videos, I would have an entire environment handmade from scratch from the ground up. And that was my goal for this channel. Then the pandemic hit. As an instructor who teaches very hands-on 3D things, I had to create a series of videos that I had not originally intended when I first launched this channel. I tried to find ways to adapt those videos into things that not only my viewers here on this channel could appreciate, but my students could also get a lesson out of. So I still wanted it to somehow come back and relate to the home and things you would find. So the past year's videos may seem like they were a bit chaotic and kind of all over the place, but I promise you they do make sense if you put them in the context of things that you would do in an everyday domestic type of situation. Starting in March, I am going to begin my first environment, and I'll be introducing that as it gets a little bit closer. Now, I do have a little bit of house cleaning to do. I have some videos that I still need to get up and release for coursework, or videos that I have shot that had to be put on hold because of coursework. So the next 2 months, I'm going to be doing some wrap-ups, some videos like finishing up this Haunted Mansion house, finishing off the ceramic pieces I didn't apply finishes to. I'm going to do a garden recap of the past 5 months, and this is not meant to be a gardening channel. I know that I have included videos of my gardening. What I have decided to do is, since the garden in a roundabout way, part of the other things I do, the projects I've made, the cooking I've harvested right from the garden, doing every 6 months the garden review. For those of you who are here because you are really interested in the pet projects I have done, fear not. Every environment that I produce will most definitely include something to do with a pet project, because my pets are my babies. I don't even like calling them pets, they're my children. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this somewhat brief introduction. If you are not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out. And I hope to see you really soon as this channel progresses. Thanks.